Thank you for joining us. This is The Public Eye on the Bridge 99 FM. My name is Ronald Thwaites. Sitting beside me is a veteran trade unionist and Minister of Government, the Honorable Pernell Charles. The two of us from different backgrounds, political affiliations, religious and racial distinctiveness, come together to talk about the affairs of the land we love. And we reach out to all of those in the diaspora who share that passion, who share that love, who want the news, who want to hear the different ideas and discussion of things happening in our midst. And our purview is principally Jamaica, but we understand that there are Caribbean people all over the diaspora from every single island in the archipelago. And therefore, we have a Caribbean flavor too. And we're always a welcome for the news of the region and the news that you have to give us from your communities, wherever you are, in the United Kingdom, in Canada, in the United States, wherever Caribbean people, Jamaican people congregate, everywhere in the world. The Bridge 99 FM is an important instrument of dissemination of news and views about Jamaica. We're strong people, proud people. We insist that we have a voice far beyond our size, and we have morals, we have principles that we wish to place before the rest of the world, not with arrogance, but with the humility of justifiable pride and strong conviction. The numbers are 876-551-5782, and the studio line is 876-676-4996. And Bridge 99 has a sales office, it's very important. If you have some service or good that you wish to sell in the diaspora, call them at 876-669-5000. They'll work out something for you. There's an alternative number if you want to make some approach from the diaspora to us here in Jamaica. You're welcome. 876-633-4440. This program is also beamed on the internet, It's the Bridge 99 FM. And you can download the mobile app from the Android Play Store and the Apple Store. You can see our faces. The guests that we're going to have today is Vincent Morrison, redoubtable trade unionist, second only to Mr. Charles, president of UCASE, Union of Clerical and Administrative Employees. And we're talking about the restiveness in the Jamaican public service and the interests and the principles there is not only to Jamaica, it's felt throughout the region and elsewhere too. They're restive in Jamaica now. They say they're not getting what they had bargained for, and yet they've got so much already in terms of salary increments. So that's an issue. Later on, if we can manage to get Dr. Chris Stokes, a development economist, he's been very popular on the media recently because he's familiar with what's going on in Haiti as much as anybody outside can be familiar at this stage. Chaos, distress, our closest neighbor in the Caribbean, our soul brothers and sisters, liberation fighters, and look what it has come to there. So plenty of discussion, hopefully with our guest, and anyone who cares to join us will be more than welcome. So it's 5 minutes after 12 o'clock. We go till 2. Mr. Charles, greetings.
Greetings, sir. Greetings.
Can we save the issue of Haiti and also of the public service until our guests are with us?
Yes, and I could embarrass myself by telling you that I told you so.
Yeah, you did.
That Haiti is heading
imploding
in a wrong direction and that Jamaica is on the same plane. And what we need to do is to make sure that we get rid of those traffic on that line. Because definitely, when I hear ultimatum being given to government, ministers to leave town, prime minister not to come back, some to show up or else. And it seems as if more than just gangs are involved in this.
No, the gangs have morphed into political organizations in a loose way.
Yeah.
And what they are now doing is saying that nature abhors a vacuum. There's a vacuum in a weak government, weak security forces. And so what is happening is that these people are filling it, not by the way, for the first time in Haitian history. Not at all.
Yeah, but what could they achieve? What contact internationally they do have that they could continue with diplomatic and trading arrangements and
They've done it before, you know. They've done it before, and they feel that it's only the United States that's standing in their way because they back Ariel Henry, the existing prime minister. But he can't even land in his own country. So he's prime minister of where?
Well, he's still in Africa seeking to.
No, they say he has reached Puerto Rico on his way back, but they wouldn't allow him to land in Port-au-Prince. Can you imagine? And the neighboring Dominican Republic wouldn't allow him to land there either. So the man is stuck in the American protectorate of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but,
what a terrible situation.
But somebody is asking, isn't there a security force? Is there a police and a military
First of all,
that is nationally connected to government and so forth?
Well, we're having
how can those who they are seeking to arrest come forth and put them in hiding?
Yeah. First of all, my understanding is that the security forces are weak and they are compromised.
That means some of them are in support of the gangs.
Yes, it's a retired police chief, this man, Barbecue, who is playing a very important role in what is effectively a coup. And it is something that we have to learn lessons from. First of all, this morning, I thank God that we live in Jamaica. I'm a citizen of Jamaica, not of Haiti. Because our traditions, as compromised and porous as they are, we will talk about that as we often do, and there's plenty of grist for that meal today. I am so happy that in our situation, what is going on there is not bears little or no relationship to what is here. Our institutions, albeit flawed, yes, are much, much stronger than our brothers and sisters in Haiti.
Yeah, but, I don't want to say it's flawed, although I understand what you mean. I would say that there's a negative and positive in all of these consolidated things. However, when the negative supersedes the positive, you're in trouble.
Yes.
So, in other words, it doesn't seem as if we cannot get a clean, positive approach. There's always going to be some dirt in the left side.
Yeah, but the question then is how much? It's a question of degree.
Yeah, and because the degree is that if it comes up to the top and equal, then you're in trouble. Yeah. Or pass, you're in serious trouble.
But we cuss our systems, and with much justification. But you think back, you've been involved in politics from the 80s, a little before.
Yeah, 1965,
Look
67,
at that.
Yes.
Yes. And never once in the multiple changes of government that have taken place has anybody said, you think you win? I still am going to stay. I'm going to prevent you. I'm going to lock you up. I'm going to exile you. I'm going to prevent you from landing. We've never done that.
No, and with great credit, the closest we have gone to a problem is when the JLP won by one seat. Mm-hmm. And the PNP government could have come up with some government investigation and some things to say, hold on, we can't change now, let us examine and go to court. But full stop. Once they went ahead, it was it. Mm-hmm. They move out and they move in. Yes. And I think we did well.
I think we should continue that, and we should celebrate that, and we should rein in anybody who has any alternative ideas.
Yes.
Yes. That we don't do that, and that is contrary to our constitution. It's contrary to our morals, and it needs the strongest possible reaction when anybody raises his head and goes on as if that it can happen here. Now, my concern is that the pathology, the disease in Haiti will eventually infect us here.
Well, I think that there was a fear in some of the governance, some people who are in governance, that we had to be careful of those people who were coming here because they didn't know them. They have no police record. They don't know who they are and whether and I heard that one member who came in the last time was in Jamaica 2 times before,
Maybe.
and they can't say how he left.
And therefore, he needs to be the one who you say, no, you can't come. But to have done after investigation. But
You don't have to go any further. You would say after investigation. Because investigation would have showed us the innocent mother and child who got a chance to run away. But I also understand that some of those people were sent. Sent to make provision for.
So publicize that.
Yes.
Publicize that. Give us chapter and verse. You read your Bible. There's one element that is indelible in the whole of the Old Testament, that you never turn away the refugee or the exile. Yes, God is with those people. He specially looks for those who are dispossessed. Yes, He reminds the children of Israel in almost every book of the Old Testament. Remember that you too were exiles in Egypt.
Well, let us examine what is meant by refugee, because there are a lot of people who are undergrounders, who come as refugees, and they're top class.
So tell us, bring out those. You have every ability to do that, but what you're not doing is you're saying, listen, you, by virtue, whether we don't know anything about you, we don't want to know anything about you, we don't even allow you a word. All you do is turn you back to the sea.
No.
That is wicked.
No, that
is evil. I could never support a government again who does that.
That cannot be accepted.
But it's what's happening right here, Mr. Charles.
Yes, but the governance, the people who are in governance have a different view.
No, they have no right to take that view and not to tell us. They have no right. They have no right to deny anybody due process.
In other words, if that is so, they should let us know so that we can be a party to it.
And they should allow for due process. Nobody, exiled, citizen, criminal, innocent person is denied due process if we believe what we do. Man, it is so egregious. It removes every scintilla of morality from our political process.
Yeah, but you know, and I know you know because you were there when I was there, that this is not a one-side thing.
What is the
I
other
am
side?
a perfect example of what has happened in this country. When a police came with a record on the third day and said, all we want you to do is sign this statement.
So
how can I sign a statement I don't know anything about?
Never.
And the statement is accusing a colleague
of criminality,
so that they can go and get the colleague and say they will let me out.
Yes.
And as a result, did you know? Because no, that I was arrested on the 6th day, and I probably was about the 8th person, and every person who was arrested before me, and hundreds who were arrested after me, left me in prison.
Well,
and I had to stay until it was finished. So I have the record of being the longest server in that.
And look at it now. The people who should have learned a lesson from that abuse are now committing the same abuse. Oh my God!
Well,
what a wickedness!
I
none call upon the cabinet of Jamaica to repent.
None of us should follow that route.
Yeah, but we are. And therefore, it is incumbent on people like you and me, not because we are more holy or sacred or anything, just to speak of humanity. And since many Jamaicans here and abroad look to the Bible for their morals and their code of conduct, I say that to take that position against the exile, against the refugee in your shores, is a wicked sin for which we will be judged.
Yes, and
when Mr. Trump,
you and I know my position is.
Yes, I do know.
And I
carefulness, of
course. I'm worried now that somebody is saying, see, I told you, you don't know who they were, where they came from, why they came.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
Yeah. Suppose now, America follows the way that Mr. Donald Trump, who is very likely to become President of the United States once again, what did he say last week?
You see, everyone who walked through the waters
he asked the question
and came through the wires.
Yeah, everyone I want to come back. Okay, is that when our citizens, our hundreds and thousands of citizens, who take a chance and go to the States, not because they fear losing their life, but because they want economic betterment for the most part. Yes, all of that. When they start, when they're treated summarily and say, "Go back," I say so. Yes.
Well, let me ask you a question.
What difference is what is the Jamaican government going to say then? The same Jamaican government, yes, that is running the Haitians back to the sea. What are they going to say when that happens? Oh God.
Well, how did the Americans get there?
Get where?
How did the Trump family got to America? How did the white man get to America?
What is the Statute of Liberty to mean?
Huh?
What does the Statute of Liberty that you know in New York Harbor?
Yes.
And I know.
Yes.
What does it mean if not that? It's as a welcoming society for immigrants and for exiles.
So we're going to break down the Statue of Liberty.
Well,
that symbol would not be acceptable.
Yeah. Well, look at it now. And what are we whose only claim to fame, because we don't have no guns, we don't have no riches, more and so, we don't have any huge size or population, yes? But what we have is morals. We're a decent set of people. And so we're going to do to others, and particularly, let me call it, to a set of black people who represent those who led the charge for freedom when the rest of us, the rest of UNO, were enslaved. And that's what we do. And that is what we claim is okay, and we had to do that for national security without a further word. Nobody charged. Nobody singled out. Babies involved. No, sir. Wrong.
And if they can give you sufficient reason.
They're a different thing, but they're not going to do that.
To take their action.
They're not going to do that.
Why they're not going to do it?
They're not doing it. Look, it's obvious. They've taken the steps. They've turned the people down. They want everybody that comes here now. No Haitian can come here and stay.
I was concerned that I was told by some of the hierarchy that one of those who came was on their third trip to Jamaica.
Bring him before a judge and let the immigration officer who knows that.
Well, what about the first trip those first people that came here?
They turned them down last week, Pernell.
They turned them down?
Yes, sir.
Saying what?
Saying they must all go home.
No. What was the judgment from the court?
None. Huh? No word. They don't give any. They don't give any. Those people who made that decision in the Ministry of National Security or wherever it is, yes, what are they going to say when they appear before the judge of all life? When
let
they
me
say,
ask
what did you do to your neighbor? And they will say, who is my neighbor? Yes? And they will, and the Lord will repeat to them the parable of the good Samaritan, or the man on the road to Jericho, the man in the boat coming from Haiti looking a little piece in Jamaica. Not the criminal who has been trying to go back and forth and bring guns or something like that. We're going to talk about that.
Well,
what are they going to say to that to the Lord?
Take it easy, because guess what? If what has been announced happening in Haiti continues, it's not boat going to come. Ship. It's shipload. Because what they have said, if you're not with me, leave. And it's not the little man, it's not the little poor boy out of the beach, it's civil servants and police and military and politicians. Yeah. So prepare yourself to share your bedroom.
I'm prepared for that. Yes, I'm prepared for that. And that is not, that extreme is not what we have been facing now. We have shown our colors. We are a cruel government.
Well, let me ask you a question, because your interest must have pushed you beyond the current situation. When has Haiti been in a position, whether it was Duvalier, whether it was this, when has Haiti been in a democratic society that people are living?
I had hope when Jean Bertrand Aristide was elected president on a ticket where he was deliberately and purposefully dealing with the weak up elements of the society, the poor, educating, encouraging them. I thought that his election could have made a big difference. Look at the difference, if you'll allow me to belabor the point. Look at the difference of how Jamaica received Aristide and protected him when his life was in danger, when he had to be put into exile. That was one thing. All of the others that come here, we just kick them out. They're not humans like us.
He went to
we
Africa,
treated
right?
them like our slave owners used to treat us.
He went to Africa.
Yeah.
Is he alive? I mean,
He's alive.
He's alive.
He's alive in Haiti, from what I'm told.
He's in Haiti?
He was a priest, and he left the priesthood. And
No, but is he back in Haiti?
my understanding is he lives in Haiti, but in a retired fashion. That's the last thing I heard.
Okay.
But Jamaican people, we must have morals. We must have standards. We must love life, yes, and not prejudice life. You can't get anywhere with that. You could have drive 3 Mercedes-Benz and have 4 most honorable. It don't help you.
Yeah, but Pastor, let me ask you a question. There are something happening in this society which is as nearly as bad, you know.
Yeah.
There are some of our own people who take their family out to put them in Bellevue, say they're going on a trip,
Yeah.
and don't go back for them.
No, that's true, sir. I see that.
I mean,
I was a member of
this is not-
parliament.
they're not, it's not the politician, no.
No, I remember.
It's a family of some of those people who are
Good.
there.
I'm glad you raised it. One of the things I wanted to raise on this program was just for us to talk about the quality of family life in Jamaica. I was a member of parliament for Central Kingston. Central Kingston is the area where Father Holong, God bless him, had a number of these homes for elderly displaced people.
You say had?
Have.
Oh.
Though there are some trying to undermine it right now from within the very, let me say no more. They're wicked people. I don't care how much dress up they are in clerical collar and bishop robes. They are wicked people if they try and undermine the charity that he has been and his brothers have been able to offer. Let that be another story. But what I used to see was when Christmas time come or holiday time come, people would bring the old person, the parent or the relative that they're caring for, caring in quotation marks, and put him in front of the gate and gone. Because they want to go holiday or abroad or something. And father have to take him in and keep him, because they don't come back for him.
Yeah, but right.
And that the same thing Christopher Tufton tell us happened to the hospital. 10% of the hospital beds in Jamaica make up of people who no need the bed, but nobody come for them.
So what are you going to say? Let me have a clear idea. So how do you think about those Jamaican people who put the people down and gone to dance, gone on vacation, and don't come back? And you and I have to feed them in the hospitals and in the homes.
What a shame. What a reproach. And we, because nobody else is prepared to say it, we have to say, come on, do better than that. Yes? Isaiah 58, chapter 58 says you must never turn your back on your own. Yes? All your fasting and all your pretty and the eyelashes look like it's going to reach down to the floor. None of that is worthwhile. The prophet, speaking the word of the Lord, said, don't do that. It says you must treat the worker right, which is what we're going to talk about in a moment. And also, you must never turn your back on your own.
In this way, define your own.
I define my own in the way that the memorable English case of Donahue and Stevenson, which established the principle of relationship in the law. Yes?
Yeah.
Anyone to whom I have any responsibility. It can be my family member. It can be my political associate. It can be my person of my tribe. Ultimately, it is another human person. Going back to this parable of the Good Samaritan, you know, the politician passed him by, yes, lying on the side of the road, dying, just come in, just wash ashore in the boat in Port Antonio. Politician passing by, the priest passing by, yes, too pretty, to get dirty. Woo, 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 siren and an outrider and pretty clothes and robe. And who stopped?
You're convincing me. You're preaching to me this
yes,
morning.
I'm preaching to you, preaching to myself, because so often we don't realize.
You know, Ronnie, I have been very concerned when I see, my word, one of our brothers, our sisters on the street, half naked, dirty, that you have to put your windows up to prevent it. If you bounce on that person, you have to take that person up, you know?
Yeah. But you know
and you put it in your car, you know?
Yeah. You know why I'm vexed
you have
about
to take
that?
him to the hospital, you know?
You know why I'm vexed about that? Because it is totally unnecessary. If government gave a pittance to the Salvation Army, they would take care of them, everyone on the street. And if we had a system which was really inclusive for all of our people, if we really meant that it is important that the humanity and the basic sustenance of all of our people should be maintained, we wouldn't have a budget such as the one I've been reading over the last weekend.
Why it has to be government?
Because government...
Why the rest of us?
No, they do. What do you think?
No.
Father Ho Long does it, Monsignor Ramkisoon, the Seventh-day Adventists, the Salvation Army, God bless them. All of these...
So what the rest of us don't put in them?
Yeah, they do. But government, first of all, government takes $1 trillion out of our pockets. And that they must use instead of waste it. Instead of Mrs. Malahoo Fort and the Constitutional Ministry paying $4.5 million a month for rent. That came out in Parliament yesterday.
To who?
I would love to know.
No, paying
rent for the offices.
Yeah, but don't make it sound as if it's her home.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, can you imagine that? 4.5, cabinet must have approved that. $4.5 million a month. The place is right on Hope Road at Stanton Terrace. The ministry not doing one damn thing. They flop. But they're spending $1.4 billion this year. Okay, we need constitutional change. I'm in favor. But them don't know how to do it. Nonetheless, they're racking up the expenses. Yes, and paying that class of money to have stush office.
When you said them don't know, the committee members.
I beg you, sir. After.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch you, because it's not just labor right in the committee.
No. I'm surprised at the PNP people on the commission. Sorry for them.
Why?
Yes? Because them not do nothing. When you look at what the process of constitutional reform has been over the years since the establishment of the ministry, 4 years now, 2020 now it start, yeah? What we get? What happened? Way to go.
I told you so. You forget?
No, sir, don't forget.
I told you so.
Hello, Mr. Charles, I follow you, sir.
Let me tell you, and I go one foot further. To say you and others have put a constitution which say there must be a referendum.
Yes, sir.
And when you get to the referendum, it's going to say no. After all the high rentals, all the big stooge who are on it, big lawyers and big this, and big friends and politicians, because it's not just labor right.
No.
It's us. And what are we going to get out of it?
We don't say nothing yet.
Yes,
and we have some sharp comments today on the Public Eye. This is the Bridge 99 FM. When we come back, Vincent Morrison, veteran trade unionist, colleague of the Honorable Colonel Charles, joins us to talk about the restiveness in the public sector of Jamaica and to draw some lessons and some principles about how we deal with public services in this land. Soon come. Thanks for being with us on the Public Eye. This is the Bridge 99 FM, broadcasting not only to Jamaicans, but to the diaspora, the Jamaican diaspora all over the world, live on the internet, however you choose. Honorable Colonel Charles is the co-host, and we welcome Vin Morrison of UK's. Hi, Vin.
Good afternoon, Ronnie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brother.
I expected that, you know. There's a mafia between the trade union leaders of the present and the past. Never mind.
Yes.
Vin Morrison, I wanted your views and Sir Purnell's as well. The public sector of Jamaica have, and the civil servants, they're otherwise called, and they have told the country that there's likely to be industrial action unless the residual claims which are outstanding from the Ministry of Finance on behalf of the government are settled within the next 10 days. Now, the claims seem to have to do with allowances and special arrangements which the public servants say they are entitled to. Now, for our listeners, the context was that last year the public servants received very significant wage increases, and the direction was that allowances should be collapsed into salaries, higher salaries, and avoid the mix-up and the proliferation of different scales and allowances that had existed before. Who is in the right on this one? The Minister of Finance says, look here, if I do what you want me to do, then it's going to mean that the available money for public services, education, health, road, all these things is going to be compromised. I've already moved the public sector wage ratio from 9.5% of GDP to 12 point something. How much more you want?
Well, Ronnie, I would have thought that if the government and the unions had reached that level of understanding, certainly there shouldn't be any reason at this point in time for industrial action. So the question out there is, have the government and the Confederation of Unions reached that plateau where at this time they should be standing off, happy, shaking hands, and my information that this is not so. You talk about compensation being paid to civil servants. My information is that the general adjustment paid to the bulk, the vast majority of civil servants is 20% over 3 years.
20% over 3 years.
Yes, 10% in the first year, and 5 on 5 for the second and the third year.
And then, please make...
What has happened, Ronnie? The government negotiator or the government side has rolled into the basic pay a number of the allowances. In fact, there are some allowances which have been discontinued. Some have been rolled in, and you don't know where some allowances are. And what you find in certain cases, right, is that when that exercise is done, workers end up getting less than what they were getting before, because having rolled in some of the allowances and you apply the taxes, when you apply the taxes, the workers end up getting less. And that is why they had to put in place what is called a temporary allowance to cauterize that situation. Now, let me back up a bit. Yes, it's a fact that certain groups in the public sector have had massive increases. The permanent secretaries, the senior directors, but those
and the politicians themselves.
Say it again?
And the politicians more so than
And
anybody
the
else.
politicians, they almost forget them. And the councillors and the politicians and what have you.
Uh-huh.
But the workers who work in the schools,
Yeah. Yeah.
the daily paid workers, the weekly paid workers, the ancillary staff, the cook, their adjustment is a mere 10%, is not much.
Ben,
I can tell you that. And you could use this example and right so. For example, we have been negotiating. We're one of the first group that met with the minister. And for the dental surgeon, it takes a dental surgeon 7 years to be fully qualified.
Yeah.
When we look on what were offered to the dental surgeon, it didn't make sense. One example is that the local intern, the doctor who finished study and is ready to start as a full-fledged dentist, was being paid within the same band as a dental nurse.
Ben, let
And
me.
this is one of the reasons why, up to this point, we have not settled with the dental surgeons, because as a professional trade union leader, I cannot compare in terms of remuneration a paralegal clerk and a lawyer.
Got you.
Ben, let me say something to you.
They are two different.
Consider that I am at the Ministry of Labour now. Not in name, but in person. Do you know that Hugh Shearer and Michael Manley, who are listening to us from where they are,
From heaven.
and Ronnie said they are in heaven,
Yeah, man.
hopefully.
Indeed, I hope.
They're saying to me, Mr. Charles, please remind Vin that you have one of the best piece of industrial relations matter in Jamaica that says there is no need, you cannot strike. How? You have a problem, you go to the Ministry of Labour, you cannot settle it, the Ministry of Labour refer it to the Industrial Dispute Tribunal, and if you're not satisfied, the Supreme Court cannot change it. They can send it to be retried. Now, if young Charles is listening, let me tell him, if you allow a strike to take place in Jamaica, it's your fault. Because you have been given by those who have passed on. Call the Ministry of Finance, call Vin, call the union leaders and say, you are to be at my office at 9 o'clock. And if you don't come, the matter would have been referred to the Industrial Dispute Tribunal. And the Industrial Dispute Tribunal would have said to you, no strike, and if you strike, you go to prison. That is better than what Leak and Hugh had. What we have in Jamaica. Stronger than that. Cannot happen.
Maybe Michael and Sarah would listen to you, but Buster Monty wouldn't listen to that argument at all.
No, Buster would not listen, because the other things that make up that was not there when Buster was there. Buster helped to bring it and move on.
Yeah.
Buster and Norman brought industrial relations into the parliament and created things like what we have today. So don't tell me there's no need to write. There's no need to write me and tell me.
No, but let's go behind that.
There's no need to write and tell me if you don't meet, you're going to settle. You cannot settle down.
I like to give practical example.
Yes, correct.
Myself and the Minister of Finance signed an agreement months ago for the probation aftercare workers.
Yes.
We signed an agreement.
Yes.
Do you know, as we speak, the workers are not getting what myself and the minister signed for? In fact, the workers are threatening industrial action.
But then you know...
But like this, I have no qualms, I'm not going to stop the workers from taking action, Because when the minister himself sit down, after months of rigorous negotiation, and we arrive at an agreement, I expect it to be implemented. And if it's not implemented, this is what breaks down the system running. This is what gives the mistrust, the trust gap within the system.
Then before you close, Ronnie wants to know if what I have said can be backed up by you as a senior, or one of the most senior, that there is no need, if you follow the precepts of what's been said there is no need to withdraw your service. No need.
My point,
No
Ronnie,
need to threaten anybody. And if you threaten me, I send you straight to the Industrial Dispute Tribunal, which tell you if you strike, you lose your job.
No, nobody in the public service can lose their job.
When
Where you get that from?
I'm telling you.
No,
You give me the statistics.
ask Wayne.
I'm
It used to be.
I'm insisting that what I
But that is not the line, Ronnie. Let us not go that
no,
we
I don't
want
want
people to lose their
but
job, please.
I want to go. I'll go there eventually. But both Vin and yourself are correct, no doubt. Your discussion is about the procedures. What I want to ask your view on is the question of the appropriateness of this whole thing. People get it is very revealing. I don't think our audience knew what Vin just said, that the majority of workers are getting 20% over 3 years. Yes, and that is particularly immoral when the minister and the parliamentarians gave themselves 200% over that period. That's wrong. They
should give the thousands of workers 200%.
They should.
They should take 20.
No, we all
There's
need.
40 of them, you
We
know.
all need to be modest with each other.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the opposite of it. But I tend to be on the side of Minister Clark in this one, because while I am accepting Vin that if you sign an agreement, it must be brought into effect. Yes, this notion that you can get a salary increase and you keep your allowances, or most of them. Yes, and at the same time there is no reference to productivity increase. Vin Morrison, Pernell Charles, that is a blow to the taxpayers of this country.
Ronnie,
Yes, sir.
no trade union leader in the history of Jamaica, no worker, not a single worker in the history of Jamaica
Yeah.
has ever said, look, go away with productivity arrangements, go away with the talk about productivity. Productivity is very subjective, Ronnie.
No.
The ramshackle transportation system that we have, we work out to stand up in half a tree. What? Eh?
No.
In fact, I recall one time Pernell was trying to get a staggered arrangement.
Yeah.
Get the chamber commerce.
Look, I'm not.
Introduce a staggered arrangement.
There are undoubted problems with.
Pernell didn't push that.
No, they're very
They himself spoke about it.
Look here, sir.
And he would have gotten support there and then.
No. We can
But
make
it wasn't
excuses
pushed.
all the
All
way.
I'm saying, when employers go abroad and buy second-hand equipment, like what happened at D&G some years ago, and bring it and and it broke down within a couple of months. You can't get productivity that way.
How can you answer me a question? How can you get increased salaries without increased productivity?
Who going to pay for it?
I'll tell you who is paying for it.
You.
Of course.
Of course.
And the Minister of Finance has said to us, look here, the cost of running the public service has moved from 9% of GDP now to 12 and climbing. Yes? And I'm asking as a taxpayer, yes, has the service improved? Clearly not. Has corruption got less? You want me to tell you about that? 3, at what point do you relate earnings to output? And then is there any worry, is there any wonder rather, why it is that you can have all this argument about procedure and agreements not being finalized or paid over, when in fact you haven't dealt with the basics of how you run an economy? Mr. Fitch may love us, Mr. Moody and all of these guys, but at the base, you have workers who are probably facing 30% or 40% inflation over the period. Yes, you're giving them 20%. so that therefore they're worse than they are, and for other reasons, as Vin Morrison points out. When is Jamaica going to decide that what we produce and how we remunerate are inextricably linked to our own happiness and to anything called prosperity or progress?
May I just disturb you for
Sure,
10
finish.
seconds? Let me just tell you something. The system as it is,
Yeah.
I don't want to come out to say it can't work. The system as it is is causing a problem.
Clark is a victim of the system.
hold
The
on.
trouble is he's bright here to change it.
But Ronnie, it's not a talk thing.
No?
If it was just talk, it could work.
I'm not
No.
suggesting that.
You know why piece work came on for the same job years
Same
ago.
reason.
You know why part-time work came
Same
on?
thing.
Same thing. Overtime work came on? Same thing. The employers have been trying to increase production using the same workers at the same salary, and it don't work. And when it set out production, the cost of production and what is produced through production, just don't match.
I want my two esteemed trade union leaders, yes, to tell me how it is that wages have gone up by multiples of 10% over the last 30 years. Yes, while the arc of total factor production in this country has gone down 1% every striking year since during that time. How are we?
Ronnie,
Where you get
Ronnie,
progress out of that?
Leadership.
Ronnie, all of that has a bit of subjectivity to it.
Where's subjective? That is quick. It's figures I'm quoting.
If you ask a question about overall factor productivity,
Yeah,
you have to take in consideration a number
capital,
of things.
technology, as well as labor.
Why did we close down the sugar sector? Why did we give Air Jamaica to Trinidad? And a number of factors.
But that doesn't take away anything.
Into consideration.
How does that relate, though, Vin? The fact of the matter is.
Why is it that Kirk Ryan works in Manchester? It's closed. Why is it that Al Park in St. Elizabeth is closed?
But you know that better than anybody.
It's not because of market conditions.
What is it?
And if you're talking about productivity.
No, what is it? What is the cause?
Affect productivity.
No doubt. No doubt.
Country.
But why is it? Why is that? Take each one if you wish. Why did this happen? And in any event, wherever it happened, it have to correct. Otherwise, there's no future except to join the line at the U.S. Embassy.
Ronnie, let me before you go to the U.S. Embassy. It is a fact
I'm not going.
that if the cost of production raises higher than what we are producing, we are in trouble.
Right now, government services is costing us too much.
Yeah, but Ronnie, the reason for that is that you're moving salary, but you're not moving the things that make production increase.
Indeed,
you
sir.
cannot expect them.
So what is the purpose of government and enterprise?
What?
What is the purpose of government and enterprise? In the field that I know a little bit about, or thought I did, of education, we're spending vast sums of money.
Yes.
Are we getting the output?
Yeah, but Ronnie, when you and I were boys...
No, it's a simple question. Are we getting the output? Clearly not. The Prime Minister of this country has to be saying we have to import labor.
Because production is not at the level of what...
Do you understand, gentlemen?
So the employers say... the employers say should lower the cost for production.
So, how
that means lower salary.
How are we going to correct this, please?
It can't happen.
Finn?
You're a former Minister of Education, and you have an idea of how many youngsters aged 17 to 19 come out of the school. You know that we have a program called Heart Trust. And you know that Heart Trust has enough money to train workers not only for the local industry and local employment opportunities, but to export.
Yeah.
Workers, we should be exporting nurses.
Yeah.
Just like how since 1945, we have been exporting farm workers to run farms in Canada and the United States.
But we can't run local agriculture.
We could
What
be
a thing.
exporting nurses.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yeah,
To run hospitals in
but you
Canada
see,
and the United States.
the difference between the Cubans and ourselves is that the Cubans export their trained labor, but they manage to keep enough so that their production can happen.
No, hold on.
India
Did you see the
also-
headline
very
this
well.
week that Cuba is short on food?
Sure. Cuba is short on milk because the United States is throttling anybody from whom they could buy. If you if Spain sells milk to Cuba, yes, the Spanish companies get sanctioned and can't trade with American companies. So it is straight oppression that is causing
And
the
that has
poverty
been going on over
of
60
the
years
Cuban
now.
people because they don't like them fight Castro when Castro dead.
All right, so could you, Vin, give me 10 seconds. I believe that the unions have been seeking increased wages, but the employers have not been able to raise the military machinery within the thing to raise the production.
The government
so you
is
pay the man and then producing the same amount of
The
money.
government is the biggest employer of labor. The government of Jamaica is the biggest employer of labor. So when you speak of the employer not being able, it is the government who isn't able. You know, well, I don't, let me not speak for you. You speak for yourself. Vin knows, has been looking over us. As a Minister of Education, there was very little I was permitted to do to increase productivity.
But you were
in my
government.
ministry. Yes.
You were
No, I accept that.
And you are now saying that the present minister must find what is happening in Macedonia and correct it.
Absolutely, because the responsibility is ours. But you and I agree that the system as presently organized cannot achieve that which we are responsible for.
So why are you saying that the minister should do it if it cannot happen?
Because who else can I call on?
No. Why are you insisting that the workers, that production should increase if you know that machinery is not in the firm to complement the wages, so they cannot increase production?
I'm not saying that. I am saying that we have to rethink how we engage with each other in order to increase output and afford the increases that all of us want.
Ronnie.
And that question has not arisen in the whole of public sector reform that has been going on. That is costing us now 4% more of GDP. We haven't even put that question. Not once has that even been raised in Parliament by either side.
Ronnie, can we take some practical examples?
Sure, Ben.
When I joined the union 50 years ago, there were 26 shoe factories in Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
Wellcove, Butter, Hanwood, name them. There's none now.
No?
Why? Because we find it more profitable to import shoes from Italy and Miami.
Right.
Right? So we close the factories that we have here.
So tell me the answer.
There was a company in Spanish Town called Aragonaba Textile Mill that was employing nearly 1,500 workers.
The building is still there. The Duppy is walking around in there.
We usually make uniforms for school children, polypropylene materials for the bauxite industry, and many others.
Yeah.
Right? We close it down.
So I want to know what's the answer.
Because it was easier to call somebody by phone somewhere in Thailand and said, send me so much bale cloth.
So how are we going to prosper? How are we going to prosper as a people? Mr. Fitch can fall in love because we pay back his money while people locally starve.
I'm going to give you a bit of break. First on your station.
Yes, sir.
The BPO industry is not as good as people say. Right now, there are 400 jobs that is on its way to Thailand. I'm talking about
my God.
IBEX in Portmore. 400 jobs.
Whoa.
The workers have come to me. I have given them the proper advice. And I hope. You know what is our problem, Ronnie? Why we don't have greater productivity and we're not doing better economically? We are selfish.
Ben Morrison,
Yes,
hold on a
yes.
second. I have to take the break. We're going to ask the producer to call you back because I really want 5 minutes of your time after the news, after the break, to just complete on this. It's a vital issue for our future. Please indulge us. Vincent Morrison of UK's veteran trade unionist, critical subject, the public sector and productivity. Soon come. Thanks very much for being with us on The Public Eye. This is a Bridge 99 FM. We're talking issues, you see, that are vital to the progress of the people, whether they are in Jamaica or the rest of the Caribbean or anywhere. We're talking issues that have to do with the diaspora as well, because, you know, when people go abroad, there's no argument about this, you know. There's a direct relationship, an integral relationship, an umbilical relationship between what you're paid and what you do, what you produce. In our situation, we announce that we are sufferers. We deserve more, and don't ask me about producing more because I inherently deserve more.
Yeah, but Ronnie, could I address you as an employer?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
a union man.
Yes, sir.
I come to you, and my first job is, how are you going to increase wages to the workers? Okay? Mm-hmm. I have no question as to whether what machinery you are going to bring into Jamaica to increase productivity so that out of that you can pay more, pay to yourself and increase.
Suppose I cut you short.
Yes.
Capitalism is ultimately repressive because precisely that. So you always have somebody scratching without being a participant, a cooperator in the enterprise of production. Vin Morrison, am I right?
No, before you leave.
You're perfectly right.
No, before you run, away.
Perfectly right.
What is the opposite of what you just said?
The opposite of this is
Yes.
not totalitarianism or is not worker control and capital being denounced. The opposite of that is a greater measure of collaboration, of cooperation, so that you are engaged in the process and understand the dynamics of what you must give and what you must get. This is why I supported Michael Manley's employer share ownership scheme.
Worker
Worker
participation,
participation. Thank you, Vin.
Yeah.
That made the difference.
Yeah.
Well, where is that now, Vin? What came out
Nowhere,
of that?
because
Came out of that?
Because it didn't get the cooperation of all the social partners.
Can I
And
tell?
I think that's a big mistake for small country like Jamaica.
Can I tell you a short story? Sometime in the 1990s, it must have been early. I can't remember when. I was asked to serve on the board of Jamaica Broilers, a well-known company, and I was taken on a tour of their facilities along with others. And I went to a particular plant where it has to be extremely sanitary. Yeah? And I didn't observe the protocol involved, absent-mindedly. And a little man covered with soot, a little laborer, yes?
Yes.
Draped me up. And we said, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't go in there. Because you have not, if you go in there like that, you
have not put on the cap.
Die. You haven't put on the cap.
And put on your gown.
And you know what him said to me? Him said,
Yes.
you know, I have a right to say that to you because I'm a shareholder of this company.
Thank you. Oh, Jesus.
The worker.
And you know what I, the big director, do? Turn back and say, thank you, master, and put on
Yes.
something and do it.
Yes.
But the man
Yes.
has a vested interest in it. Yes, him knows
Yes,
say that
yes,
his
yes.
labor, him knows say for him dividend, him knows say that his dignity more than money or anything he produces, his dignity as a person is affirmed as an owner. This is why I support the expansion of the stock exchange. It's one step. It should be much further than that. Employee share ownership, worker participation is the only way we are going to
And let me help you, because if you have that,
Yes.
you expect the worker to participate
Yes.
to increase his own benefit.
Yes, sir.
Right? rather than get his salary and go and do what he might do because he don't know what the employer.
But what do you think is Ben Morrison is the example? The civil servant now are dashing it at Nigel Clark. They are dashing in his face. What? Don't you tell me I can't get my retroactive mileage. Don't you tell me that I can't get this, that, and the other, that you want it to collapse into my wages. Because look what Una do to yourself. You'd give your you'd give yourself double on a joint from last April. Bank account full up when I still haven't been knocking on your door and begging your meeting.
And I said to them,
oh my God, what wickedness.
I said that it depends. Yes, 50 people to 50,000 people. 50 people.
But it don't matter.
No, it matters.
No.
Because when you talk about government, it's about 10 people.
Hello, Daddy.
And you talk about it's about 10 million.
Daddy, if Jesus had not fasted and prayed, the disciples would never have done so. Your leadership is what you're talking about. If you, the leader, serve yourself first, to the disadvantage of other people, you have no morals and you will never get through. You're a father of a big family.
I have to go along with that point.
Ronnie,
you win that point.
Can you permit me and your public radio to give an example?
Please do,
sir.
sir.
Example.
Yes, sir.
Norman man went to a function. Then came lunchtime. He went. They put him at the head of the line and said, "Mr. Manley, come and take your lunch." Yeah. He went, took his lunch, and took it to his driver. When the person see what happened, they say, "No, Mr. Manley, come back, and come and have another lunch." Mr. Manley said, "No, I will only do that when everybody is served."
Yeah.
I don't know if you can find a better example.
No, that's a fine example.
Yeah, but Vin.
There's another one that I saw personally. Let me just say it, and I'm not balancing things. I used to watch Sir Alexander. He was very much the first in the kingdom, you see. But he always, at a dinner or function, would go behind the scenes and thank the workers who were in the kitchen or who were doing something else. Yes, why? Because he was affirming their humanity. He was affirming their dignity. And he was affirming himself as their servant, not their bucky master.
Yeah. And some other people who are not as quiet and nice as you say, go away with that. I vote him and look where I'm going.
Of course he's looking vote, and he should get vote. By doing that, he should get it.
Well then, Vin, you remember that Michael Manley, and I don't know why I keep saying nice things about this guy. He treat me so bad. But when we go to Michael and Shearer, we go to Canefield, you know. Yeah. His bread and sardine in meat, you know.
But why not?
Right? Some of the guys gone to the restaurant.
Of course.
Then bust the bread and right them. I stand up and watch him say, but hold on. Sardine, the man yam sardine like we. It make a difference.
Of course. Of course. And when so Ben Morrison, how are we going to solve this one? I understand what Nigel Clark is trying to do, you know. And there are if you could tell me that the quotient of production that is attributable to labor was increasing at the level of their increases in pay, I would have no objection. I would support it. If you could tell me that state power is being used to facilitate the modernization of capital and technology to help promotion, to combine with labor, yes, and it was having the results, and we could see the direction, even if we don't see the results right away, I am all in favor. What we're doing now is wasting and the substance of this country, and think that some people can get ahead and others must just suck salt. What the backside is that?
The new compensation system was really designed to increase performance and productivity, and therefore increase the public service ability to pay more. Yeah,
but that's what wages also. That's what wages are supposed to do.
The question of motivation, right? The motivation factor. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we've lost it at this point. Yeah. And I think,
but of course we've lost it. We've given it away. If I am going to fatten myself, if I am at the head of the stream, and I am and the what is on the table is limited, and I am going to help myself and yam and get fat before I look per what left for you at the bottom. Why on earth should you take me? You will take me as any example. Why not should I respect you? 70% of the people of this country last week looked at the ruling class, the political ruling class, and said, "Go!"
No. Could I just say something to you? What about the owners of business?
Same
hold on,
too.
No, because
Look at the wicked people, what they're doing with
hold on.
Fitzjackson.
The
little
owners
effort.
of business will give you an increase in salary for the workers so long as their cost for production is at a level where the profit is above that.
Well, I accept that profits are necessary.
No, the point is, if they don't have increased production, they're not going to get profit increase in salary. If you increase salary and you get the same amount of production, they're not going to do it.
Except you do what is happening and killing us now. You increase prices.
But let me ask.
And you squeeze the people in places where they cannot avoid and cause them to edge up their teeth and for them to go on bad.
Vin.
How much a pound of chicken back now?
Well, I don't know, but I will tell you something. I will tell you something what my wife told me. I saw her with a nice little papa, pretty.
Yeah.
And she said, I didn't show you the other side.
Yeah.
She turned the side around. $6.50 for one little papa. That used to sell for $50, 50 cents.
Yeah.
So let me ask you now.
Yeah. Look at that.
Where is that money going? Yes, you get a 20% increase, right?
It's gone already.
Hold on.
Which is why the public sector.
But when what is being produced come to the market now, to Vin and myself, upstone, the salary is, I mean, the way the cost of it is multiple. Where is that money going?
That is the generalship of the whole thing, Vin. The 20% burn out long time in inflation.
Yes.
So who is benefiting from inflation, Ronnie? Who is benefiting from inflation?
I know who is not.
Who?
I know who is not.
No, I'm not asking you that. I know who is not. I am not benefiting. I'm asking you, who is benefiting from inflation? Government?
Remember,
indeed.
How?
The tax situation.
All ad valorem tax goes up.
Is skewed against workers.
Yes.
Income tax plus,
the cost of goods and services and the tax quotient increases the money the government's take. Why do you think this government has been able to finance the budget, even a surplus, without raising taxes? Because they're getting the tax anyway.
No, because they're collecting tax.
Well, they're collecting it the easiest way.
You never used to collect it?
No, but if you Lego all the cars in Jamaica and they have to buy gas and you pay the tax on it, or you think the money's short? But you come and say, "My God, see that now? I've been here and I've never raised that." Who you think fool like that? You can't take it for idiot,
Take it easy, Ronnie. Take it easy.
Vin, before you go.
Vin, after holding me because his cheeks are getting red.
What's the answer, Vin Lawrence? How can we satisfy the workers justly, and how can we increase production?
Yes.
The trade union movement needs to lead us, I believe labor must lead development.
Well, it's not hard, It's not hard because the same Jamaican workers who go to Canada and the United States, and Pernell will agree with me on this, they are the best workers you can ever find.
Of course.
So it is not just a worker productivity issue. It is much more than that. It has to do with a number of other factors. And you cannot rule out motivation.
But we are big boys now. We should learn to fix our face. It's 62 years of independence now. Where this issue of motivation, how that go?
But here again, you talk about the price of chicken back. Chicken back is $280 per pound.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how can a man with a family of five and minimum wage, how can you survive with one basic staple? You don't talk about the rice or the flour or any other thing yet. But 1 pound of chicken back, so somebody's making cheaper profit
No,
somewhere.
but Vin, it's not that everybody making. The man who is raising chicken will tell you that he used to buy feed for the chicken for X.
No, we know
and
that,
it has
sir.
gone to X plus.
We know that, but it's not him making.
And if
it's
he
not,
doesn't
hello,
add that on to the
it's
chicken
not
back,
him. It's not him selling the chicken back. The chicken back is being sold by people usually of political pedigree who get the license, double the price, and sell it to the poor people of this country.
and the people them sell it to double the price, who sell it to me?
Might be so, sir.
But with all the land, having driven on the highways
Yeah,
and see all the lands right, left,
Yeah.
on both sides,
yeah.
why is it that we can't plant corn? Why is it that we can't plant cane to feed the animals?
Well,
Why we have to
plant something. Maybe not those, but plant something. We've tried, but the whole issue is that we are building a system with weak foundations now, and the trouble between the public sector workers and the minister is redolent of that. All I'm saying is, how can you give increases to yourself or to anybody else without further without increase in output? Yes, we've given the parliamentarians, Pernell and I used to be there, 200%, no? And
Yeah.
I want to...
200% of one is not a whole heap,
No, sir, but it's 200%.
200% of 20, that
No,
is much
no, no.
more. So when you talk about this 200%.
No, and then I'm not taking that back.
Oh,
and
okay.
and look at the Standing Finance Committee of Parliament sitting right now, yes, going through $1.3 trillion worth of expenditure. And I'm going to bet you that they finish by tonight.
But Ronnie, what's the opposite?
The opposite is to go through every single line and find out what is necessary,
till next
what
year.
can be saved, and therefore what can be applied to something else which is
hold
more
on, hold on,
necessary.
let me-
None of that is being done.
Well, hold on, let me give you a little thing.
Why are we paying so
Vin,
much money
one
for
second,
rent?
Vin. I want you
Why are we paying so much money for rental, Ronnie?
Can you imagine
Ronnie, look
ministry
on the
which is a
line.
condign flop is being
Look on the rental.
$4.5 million a month.
Ronnie,
Why
I
is
went
it that
up.
we're paying so much and
went-
we have much harder?
I went up,
Ronnie,
Yeah.
I went up
there's
the
a
top.
building at the head of Full Camp Road there.
Yes, sir.
Machado building.
I bought.
Lovely large building.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be best for us to fix up that building?
Yes, sir. That was the idea. I caused that to be bought by Hart and the Examination Council must have been 2014 from the Urban Development Corporation to be refurbished and to be used as a training ground for high skills for the business outsourcing enterprises. And my successor frowned on that and has left it there to rot. Yes?
And
So I know about that one.
I mean, Ronnie, I could list a million things, that if we just decide to do it a little better,
Yeah.
we could be able to fix the pothole.
Vin, I love when I hear you and Ronnie come with a nice part of, doing it a little better, talking a little
Such a
better.
wicked people.
Go to the foot, go to the root.
Yes, sir.
And you discover that the employer in labor for production keep looking at his returns.
Not government.
Eh?
Not government.
No.
No government. All they have to do is write up a different money to the finance minister.
Randy, don't say that. Let me tell you
But
why.
it's true.
Hold on. I went up to Constant Springs since the other day I hear you talking about that. And I did an observation
Yeah.
of the civil servants
Yeah.
who are collecting taxes up at Constant Springs here.
I hope they're good.
Well, let me tell you something. They are working so hard.
Fine.
The machine is saying number 10
Yeah.
and number 11. The machine is on them.
So, sir, my answer to that is
I want to congratulate
them.
Yes.
I join you. Vin does too. Two, I want to measure their productivity over an arc, over a period of time,
Yeah.
and I want to reward them accordingly. I am not interested in rewarding the people who take every half day off or who spend the morning deciding what
But
they're
you
going to
can't
have
take
for
the
lunch.
one or two people doing that running
Not one or
against
two
a whole,
people.
a whole group of
No,
Vin.
sir,
Come and defend this
Sir,
thing.
it's not one
This
or two
wicked
people.
man here.
You know, it can't be because the level of total productivity is going down. That is the AIDS of the
So how is
AIDS
your
and the
government?
cancer of the
How is your
economy.
government and your minister that you admire so much? How is he collecting more money now if productivity in collection was going down?
No, it is so organized.
You can't answer me.
No,
Right?
I can tell you. It is so organized that more is automatically taken out of people's pocket. Every time you go to the gas station, you know how much tax you pay. Every
Right.
time you go supermarket, you know how much tax you pay.
But you used to pay it.
No.
You're not paying any more than you used to pay.
No, you're paying more in volume.
No, you mean more people have cars.
Yes, sir.
And more people only have cars because more people have money.
No.
And
Because
more people get money or
they
borrow
get-
money, they can pay it back.
That's true.
They
That's-
can only pay
no,
back if they get jobs
But
to do
all
it.
of that doesn't inure to greater productivity. Has not. All
That's
it has,
this
all it
big
has
word-
meant
this
is what
big
one
word.
Colonel Charles tells me about, which is utter congestion.
This big word, productivity, that you and Vin and all of you are talking about,
Uh-huh.
it can only come when management
Yeah.
and labor decides
Yes.
that this is our target.
Yes.
You get this, I get this, and we move on.
That's it. So then cooperation is the final word?
Yes.
Cooperation.
Yes.
And I can say the trade union movement and Colonel agreed with me has always ready to cooperate.
Okay.
If you look on the collective labor agreements, the collective labor agreements it tells that management has this tool right to run its business,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Hire, employ, not to employ, to do whatever it is.
Yeah.
We are not a hindrance. The trade union is nowhere a hindrance.
Yes. Well,
Could I beg you 10 seconds?
Sure, sir,
that-
before we wind up.
Vin, I
Yeah.
want you to help me. I've been worried that I understand that some of the security guards
Yeah.
are not
yeah, we have it in
compensated
February.
because the employer say take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And they are not in a position to leave it because they have no alternative.
Yes.
Now, is this so? Because I understand government is the largest employer. Government couldn't tell them take it or leave it. Is it the union that is not moving, or is it the employers, government, and others who are, and the workers can't do anything about it?
Remember we discussed this with Vin.
Over 200 security guards as we speak are out of a job. Not because they committed a breach, but because they say, look, this contract that you asked me to sign will extinguish all of my rights. Right? In other
So by
words,
not signing, what they do, the right. By not signing and losing the job, how the right are preserved?
prior to Justice Box ruling, the companies were paying the guards for their vacation leave. But the company position was that if you're on the job, we will not pay you. But if you retire or resign and gone to North America or Canada or wherever, we will pay you. But if you're on the job working, you will not get paid for vacation leave. Which to me, again, just shows you what sort of management we deal with. Because it is the worker who have worked for 40 odd years, right? On the job every day, night and day, rain. That is the worker who needed a vacation leave, not the worker who resigned and reside in the United States.
Vin, thank you for raising these issues. Thank you for being a reference point for things of justice and the workers. All the best to you.
And Colonel,
Yes, sir.
you, we had a meeting in your son in July last year. I don't want to sound too personal, but he's a youngster like, and I want to work with him. He promised to get back to us, and we still haven't heard from him.
That's it, security guards.
Read the security guard issue.
Thanks,
Well,
thanks,
and
Vin.
I
I know the message will be delivered.
I want you to call him and let him know that as far as you're concerned,
Yeah.
the workers who have sent to tell the employer, the government, they're going to withdraw the service, that there is a way for solving that problem. Come to the ministry go to the IDT and have it settled.
We got to go. Thank you, Vin Morrison. The public eye will return after these messages. This is The Bridge, 99 FM. Extensive discussion about productivity, about workers' rights, about government responses with Vin Morrison of the Union of Clerical and Administrative Personnel. When we pair him with Pernell and Vin together, you can imagine the richness of the discussion on the public eye. A few things I want to bring to your attention before, ask your views before the program closes. Our diaspora residents will be annoyed to see pictures of Vale Royal, the residence of the Prime Minister.
Why would they be? That's an old British relic.
Yes, which
Why you want to preserve that when you are one of those? You're one of those who say get rid of them.
No, I don't want the British to rule over me, but I recognize.
Well, you want to live in them house?
No, not me. I'm not the Prime Minister.
No, it's the Prime Minister house.
Yeah, of course it is. It is the
No, but the Prime Minister said, "Oh, no, same not to he must make his own house."
No. It is the point I'm making. That is
No, I shouldn't be saying it because the truth is this: it's run down, and that's not.
Should never be. It's a public facility. Okay, but I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Could you imagine the President of the United States living anywhere except the White House? Could you imagine the Prime Minister of England living anywhere but 10 Downing Street? Could you imagine the Queen of England or the King living anywhere else but Buckingham Palace?
That's a tough stuff right there. Why do you accept that the Jamaica House, which was built for the residents, and Buster was living there,
yes,
in his bedroom and thing, why is it that nobody live there anymore?
Never agree with it, but at least that is being put to some use. And it was argued that there was certain inconveniences to do with the architecture of Jamaica House and the need for office spaces, and that therefore Vale Royal, which had been the residence of the Colonial Secretary in pre-independence days, would serve appropriately as a residence of the Prime Minister. And I used to visit Mr. Edward Siaga there. Yes. Now, I'm asking the question right now. Yes. Why doesn't our Prime Minister, whoever he or she is, live in its official residence?
Because they have their official residence.
No.
They have their own
They have their private house, which they're entitled to have.
Why should they go and live?
Because that is
when they have their
because that is the official residence.
Oh, I see.
When it is connected with the office.
I see.
Yes, and therefore, it would end all of the argument about rundown, because what you would do is to keep that residence up to date. Not and keep it filled with whoever is the incumbent.
Somebody is just straighten you off out there. Say everything the man did wrong.
No,
the man build a house. Them nearly kill him over it. Him finish it. Him live in there. But somebody, him don't have to live at Vale Royal. Somebody should have occupied Vale Royal so that it don't run down.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I just feel that if you have an institution or which is designated for a purpose,
who says it's designated by the Prime Minister?
Oh, heavens, yes, that's been the case, the designation for at least 30 years.
Yeah.
And it is ever since Jamaica House became unusable for a residence.
Yes.
So, can we just do the thing right now?
But
when you go in there, when you get Prime Minister, you go in there. And when you stop being Prime Minister,
Prime Minister live there?
None. But that don't make no difference to me, Pernell.
No, but it make a difference to me because you call like that Siaga name.
No, because he was there.
He lived there.
Yes.
And nobody else lived after that?
As far as I know.
Oh, Lord.
I don't believe Mr. Patterson lived there. I know he didn't. Nor did Mr.
Mr.
Golding.
Patterson have him nice to close on the
But
car.
everybody anybody in that category are going to have their nice house, and that's all right. But all I'm saying is that if you have an official residence, that you must use, and when you come out, you come out.
But how you want them to stay in Parliament where it is not?
I don't want them to stay in Parliament.
But you raise hell, so them shouldn't come building up a your
No,
place.
because what they're building is an aberration. What they're doing, once again, is using the inadequacy of Gordon House as an excuse to spend billions to build up this palace, supposedly at Hero Circle. Every year the Prime Minister said it soon start. It don't start yet. Hero Circle is a disgrace.
But
it
you
is a
are
parking lot and a burial ground.
You are saying he mustn't start, and now you're quarreling.
No. I am saying that what you need to do is a far more modest proposal where you take over the Jamaica Manufacturers Building, which is side of Gordon House, and you repurpose Headquarters House, which is right there, and on the other side of Charles Street, and on those three buildings there are quite sufficient to have ample legislative purposes without having to build this stush place.
The place at North Street above Gordon House was given to the police. Why do you think they don't occupy it?
I don't know which place.
That big building.
The Jam and Tell?
Jam and Tell.
Uh-huh.
Why is it that you think it has never been occupied?
Them said up in there.
That up in there?
Yes, sir.
No, man. Bad man.
No. I walked in there when I was Minister of Education.
You see Duppy?
No, I said never. Duppy and me don't take tea. But I could tell you something else.
It's bad man. They couldn't go down. They could live.
Hello, a Desmond constituency.
Eh?
A Desmond constituency.
It could have been.
No. Hold on.
No, actually,
so what are you going to do?
If it is in Denham Town, it was my constituency.
Well, sir, then same thing. You can't concede to evil that way. First of all,
you couldn't get a policeman to go down the
threat.
You couldn't get a policeman to go down there.
Well.
And it's whole heap of rooms could have come out of that.
It is a disgrace the amount the waste that is there.
I get them to get it free.
No, I don't think so. And I was looking at it because the Ministry of Education needed additional space.
Yes.
And I thought it would be a good place for a number of the departments who are paying people rent at high rates. And if I tell you some of the people who are renting the places, you would understand why. Because they're deeply political hacks.
And a man said to you, Mr. Tweet, where you live downtown?
Mm-hmm.
You represent downtown and you don't live there. Mm-hmm. And you want to put up a big stush building in North Street from you go live in your ghetto?
No. I don't want you to live there.
But that's what them now say.
No, I want you to have your offices there, and I'm quite prepared.
Why you don't want them to live there? Why do you want them to have offices but not to reside?
Because it is there. Because it is an investment already made, and we must not waste investments.
Okay.
If you waste investments, you are conniving for poverty.
Well, I can't run you out this
No,
week.
you can't, man.
You get hot today.
But you know this. You believe this more of me. You can't do that. The whole of government decant into New Kingston in order to feel sweet.
Yeah, but just to think about it, Ronnie. KPH is so close. KPH is so close. That building has never been occupied for years.
That's true, sir.
Why?
Because, well, I can't tell you.
Because them say policemen say bad man can't shoot them up.
Oh yeah.
People not going to go to.
So you better juke it down and use the land for something else then.
You know what the cost to put that up? Take it down?
You know the cost you're spending for security?
To keep it there, no?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean my guy, them all going to take it away?
Sure, man. No, Pernell, we're not serious about... this is what concerns me, whether it's Vale Royal or wherever. We're not serious about recognizing that we are not a rich country, that we are a decent people, and that we are going to make the best out of what we have or what we can get at a price that we can afford. Yeah? And this is
First thing that you have to do is to get the leaders together to stop curse one another and to realize that when you curse me, somebody use that same curse to curse you.
Yeah. And before time runs out, I want us to move on. The Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark, was heard on Jamaican media this week saying that the census is virtually finished and they're tabulating it now.
Yes.
You get census? No, sir.
Let me if I get census.
They'll come and take up your census?
I'm not pick up me, they know me.
No, no, Daddy. I just want to say that I have been.
But they have not really come to my house.
And neither me.
They may have come, you know.
No, but them don't get. Well, then them come once and them don't get you.
No, but that's
you don't count.
No. Somebody will tell them that.
No, Daddy.
Mr. Ronald Twait live here with me. I am Mrs. Twait.
No, that. Them not come at all.
Then that could never finish running. If they have to find everybody.
So how they going to know? How they going to know all of my profile? Nobody can tell them that. You have the census is a taking up of each people.
Yeah, but
yes, that is why Jesus and Mary and Joseph had to go to Bethlehem.
And how long it take them?
A long time. She
take in on her baby. Census can't say them start in January, go and finish by May.
So I'm not. This is what you said. No, I am not saying that that they're running over time. All I'm saying is that we data is critical to national planning.
And I agree with that.
And therefore, the minister, I'm saying to him respectfully, I do respect him, he is being misinformed because there are a whole heap of us, all of my relatives and family, the people I work with and interact with, have not been approached to give census information. And I believe that is not unique to me. See it happen to you and many others. So let's do the thing right. You spend enough money already.
Let me ask you a question. Could it ever finish in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, if every home that they go, they have to find the husband and the wife and the children and the helper and the gardener?
The husband and the wife, very often, unfortunately, don't live same place. But
so it cannot finish.
No. So take the time, but don't say it come to an end and you're tabulating, because the tabulation you come with is going to be wrong.
Let me ask you a question. Did you know, or do you know, that it is somebody who's advising the minister? Somebody is in charge of that, and it's telling him that by the 10th of next month, I'll give you a phone.
Yes, sir. I know that is the case.
So what is he to say?
He's
to call him here, but he not agree?
No, he has to interrogate what he's being told, because in the net effect, if he follows bad information, it's going to be a bad result. And he is the one we have to look to. You can't look to the one who's giving him the bad information. We don't know who that is.
Ronnie, that
we
is
know
good.
him.
I have one little thing I would like to tell you that is bothering me every time I drive on the road.
Tell me.
When I was minister, and I drive and see the cover for a pothole, either stolen, taken away, or broken.
Yeah, manhole.
And it becomes a manhole. And it is there for 3 weeks with a carton box in it. Ronnie, nobody no see it who in charge. It's not a politician.
No. But therefore, people take advantage. They narrow themselves as to what they are to do, and who else is them or UNO supposed to do it, instead of having that broad cooperative spirit and the respect for people who pass. The blind person who has to walk on that right there. You know how many cases I win in court for blind people who walk into the manhole because the cover has been taken off and injure themselves, and government have to pay? Oh my God.
Some people deliberately take off the cover.
Of course, some take it off and melt it down and make shot. I'm telling you, the whole spirit of the country needs to uplift itself, and the political scene ought to be able to broker this, and unfortunately, the political scene is going in the opposite direction.
But I want you to tell me, Ronnie, how can you establish a system to bring a discipline to a nation that, I'm not saying they're indisciplined, it must be a bigger thing. For example, I drive past, going up Red Hills round the corner. All the trees from over the other side are now covering the road. Every truck that passes, knock on it. And I am the only one who go inside to ask the man, hey, man, how them trees go? You can't cut them down.
Where the councillor? What him good for?
But it's not the councillor one.
No. But
me too, you too, all of us.
Indeed, sir.
Maybe him don't see it.
No, I would want to know his number and to be able to say that you have the particular authority for the roadways, yes? And therefore, please, may I bring this to your attention? Because you can achieve, you ought to be able to achieve, because of your office, what I cannot achieve as an ordinary citizen.
Well, let me take you one more. Again, I'm driving on Mullers Road.
Mm-hmm.
Between 4:30 and 5:30, and there are at least 4 or 5 minibuses that drive in the opposite direction of the road every evening. And I came here and complained to you and cried.
Yeah.
And I saw, I don't know who in the police, put 2 little policemen on 1 motorbike.
Yeah.
And it brought some discipline.
So look at that. Exactly, sir. You're proving your own point. If we simply do those things that are within our power and within our capacity to do, we can make a real difference. If we do the things that we have normally done, because I saw it go, I saw it set, there will be no change. In fact, there will be an aggravation of despair. This is why you will remember, you and I used to spar right at this time every year in Parliament, because the Standing Finance Committee is a time when we look at that budget and we determine if it can go ahead, what changes, what explanation. And you know that the parliamentarians, by and large, have no intention of doing that.
But let me ask you a question. Who make up the budget?
The people in the Ministry of Finance.
Who are they?
Civil servants.
Exactly.
But they so who has the ultimate responsibility? It's not civil servants who pass the revenue bill.
You have the ultimate, not the minister.
I couldn't get a word.
Not the minister.
You were kind.
Could organize.
You were
everybody.
kind to me, but the majority of our colleagues, rather shut him out. You have to trust these people. Yeah. What you ask this question for? It's not your portfolio. Shut your mouth. It don't business you. Yes? Because I want to go home. Of course I want to go home too. But we are not doing, you spoke about the simple things like the police coming on the road and correcting what is a dangerous evil that was taking place on Malines Road. I'm saying those who are elected and get big money, 4 times the money you and I get. Yes? And they are not doing the job.
Yeah, but Ronnie, you and I, well, let me tell you something. I have never asked for a wage increase. Never. But
I did.
I've never gone to ask for a wage increase.
Yeah, I asked for at least a health coverage for retired parliamentarians.
No, but you ask for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm talking about me.
You personally,
right?
Okay. Yeah.
The point is this, though, several of us have come out of Parliament as poverty.
Yeah.
Poverty people.
Yeah.
And people don't look at it that way. They say your head grey, you have more money, more grey hair you have in your head.
Yes, as Bobby Pickersgill always says, if you come out rich, they say you're a thief. And if you come out poor, they say you're a fool.
and as you said that, I don't think that Bobby would be opposed if he hears that I say on radio that I had to make as a point of duty to say, here is a man who have served for years and he cannot get his pension.
Yeah.
Let him get it. No. But I tell you, have you ever heard about Caven?
Hopeton Caven?
Eh?
Hopeton
Caven?
Yeah.
Hopeton Caven was sick in the last part of his life. In fact, he went to a funeral and he ran out of the funeral, ran down the lane and started running around the church.
Oh.
I said, so I called to my doctor, who is Gloria. I said, Gloria, one of my colleagues is running around the church, making noise around the churches. She said to me, can you catch him? I said, you're driving him fast. She said, you have any mint ball and any sweet, what is sweet? Look, sweet.
Icy mint.
Eh?
Icy mint.
Icy mint.
Give me that.
I said, I have some icy mint in the back of my car. She said, catch him and crush up 2 and put it in his mouth. So I'm still running, you know. So we run for the icy mint and we crush it up and we back him up. And squeeze him jaw, throw it in him mouth. And they said, why not squeeze my jaw for? The same man,
Yes.
the icy mint.
Get
Some
sugar.
little things that you can do.
Can do. Look at that now.
But you have to know.
Yes.
You know, being a
Otherwise,
doctor.
no, you can get into trouble. But that's an interesting story.
So here, you know, the same Hopeland Cave, you know, I drive past his house yesterday, you know. He died. So I was Minister of Labour and Social Security, and I discovered that Hopeton is entitled to some benefits
Oh.
that he has never applied for or got. And I work it out that he should get his benefit. So I sent to tell him that we're coming 3 o'clock on Friday to get some benefit for him. But I appreciate it. So when I go, him said to me, "Oh, I'm Pernell." So he said, where the camera them there? I said, "What do you mean camera? Where the TV man them there?" Pernell, me know you, you know. You now come without the cameraman. I said, "Hopeton, this time
Yes.
I am here to tell you of benefit that you deserve.
Yes.
You have worked hard
I bless you for that.
for many years, and I didn't have the
Rival
camera.
trade unionists, but in good
cannot
sense.
believe that I
Yeah.
come without the camera.
Well, that's really good of you. The other thing I want to raise just before we part, another fish kill in the Rio Cobre, Mr. Charles.
So let me answer a question. Stop right there.
Yes, sir.
How it happened?
I don't know, but
Well, you and I know, no.
no, but
It can be something natural, and it can be something from companies
And-
pouring into the sea.
and not natural.
That's not natural.
No, sir. In the
In other
natural.
words-
And it happens so many times, and the waterway is so important, and the
The fish is important because the
fish is
farmers,
important.
the people, the fishermen.
Yes, sir. And the quality of the water, too. Remember, when it flows down into Heartlands and South St. Catherine, where a lot of vegetables and fruit are grown, if it has heavy chemical content, it can kill all of that cultivation. How could that happen again? And those who are supposed to monitor, those who are supposed to be our defense against that kind of thing, they get their pay end of month anyway, you know.
Ronnie, don't tell me technology is of such a height today
Yes, sir.
that you must know
Yes, sir.
which factory
Yes, they know.
is in the area
Them know.
that is using chemicals.
They not tell
that-
us yet, but they know.
And so what?
Yeah, they know very well who do it. But some
You
people,
sound like you know.
some people,
I
too,
man tell you.
some people too big forget stop.
Now, sir, one life.
Yes, sir.
One life.
But you've seen it now. How much fish kill they have, and not one person pay any money yet. Not one person get a criminal prosecution. Not one person get a civil judgment. Yes, and we are to say that our public system is working well. No, sir, it's not.
Well, if what you said there is true.
But it is true. You know that the people at Kent Village, the people down the stream who lost their crops due to bad water, polluted water, nothing come out of it. Maybe the government give them a little $25,000 or $30,000 for do something, but the people who are really responsible, the system of production which acts against the common good, is just there. It's left. That's my concern.
Well, I am sure that if you know that much about it
Yes, sir.
and have that concern,
Uh-huh.
that those people who are living out there now and hearing to you, we don't need to vote for you anymore because
Done that.
But the fact is that if we know the company that are around, we need to
well,
talk to
I'm
them.
hoping that by next week we will see that. And as we close, let us wish all those who are going to be sworn in as councillors and mayors, wish them the very best. Ask them please to remember the people's interests, not their own.
Give me 10 seconds.
Indeed, you have that to conclude.
Ronnie, councillors, can we speak to you? As far as I am concerned, you have joined a band of people to protect the rest of us. Huh? When you're going to take an action out of your emotion, you are affecting me.
Yes. Please don't.
You're affecting a lot of us.
Yeah.
So just get up and resign, or just get up and make noise.
Look
Or
at yourself.
there are those of us who are
Hurting.
by you. So I beg you, sir, please.
Yeah.
You see, I saw a JLP man who have withdrawn, and the way he has done it, it don't affect you. You feel good because
No, I don't feel good at
you
all.
don't feel good.
No,
Because you're not a good PNP.
I want stability and progress. Me no mind where it comes
I
from.
want to tell him, say, it make me feel bad last night.
But-
My heart hurt me.
Yeah, so fortunately,
So
he seems
please,
to
don't make it happen
hope,
again.
and hopefully he will do something with the seat and make
Well-
not just follow line, but really help the people generally. That's it for the public eye on
Yes.
the Bridge 99 FM. We thank the Honourable Colonel Charles for this spirited discussion, and we look forward, if our life is spared and the Lord tarries, to be with you next Wednesday at midday. Thank you, Jeff. This is Bridge 99 FM.